Hello world. In this video we'll be covering for loop. So this is the general syntax of for loop. For and in are the two necessary keywords used to declare a for loop. Iterating var is a normal variable and sequence hold a list of values. For loop generally holds a block of code which executes on the basis of the number of items which are in the sequence. So now we'll look for an example of loop. Suppose we have a task to print out a numbers starting off from 1 up till 5. We'll make use of the general approach. We'll print out the number 1, then number 2, number 3, and so on up till 5. This approach is quite simple because we need to generate a small sequence. Now we have to generate a sequence starting off from 1 up till 10. So we need to increase the line of code like print 6, print 7, print 8, print 9, and print 10. This approach is quite time consuming and it takes up 10 lines of code, but with the help of loop we can sum up the entire code in just 3 lines. So I'll just create a for loop and an iterating variable num, and I'll make use of the inbuilt method range, which will create a list of values which will start from 1 and end up till 10. So I'll just keep the upper limit 11 and I'll print out the values which are stored in the num variable. As you can see in the output, in just 2 lines of code, I'm able to generate the sequence which will start off from 1 and end up till 10. This is the simplicity of using loops. Now we'll see another example of loop. So I'll just create a list and I'll store few integer values in it. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And I'll create a for loop which will loop through the entire items which are in the list. I'll make use of the print method to print the individual values which are in the list. As we can see in the output, I'm able to generate the entire values which are there in the list: 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. There are some situations when we need to find a specific value in the loop and ignore the rest of the value. The break keyword is used in such cases. So I'll just create an if statement saying if the value of num is equal to 13, I'll print out the message saying we have got the number, and I'll not loop through the entire sequence again. So I'll just break the execution using the break keyword. A break keyword is used to stop the execution of the loop. As you can see in the output, as soon as the value of num is 13, we have stopped the execution of the loop. The opposite operation is also available, known as continue. It is used to carry on the execution of the loop. So I'll just change the break keyword to continue, and I'll change the message which it prints out. I'll just say ignore this number and continue. So as soon as the value of num is equal to 13, we have just skipped that number and we have moved on to the rest of the values which are there in the sequence. This is all with for loop. In the upcoming video, we'll be seeing an example for while loop.